For those of you that are new, my name is Rob Valencius. I'm the National Agent Trainer for Pinnacle Financial Services. And we got a great webinar for you guys. Obviously, we know it's AEP, so, try not to take too much of everyone's time here. Appreciate everyone that, was able to jump on. But what's the number one thing people ask for, right? Leads, 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 leads. That's what we hear every single day. So we thought it would be a good idea to put together a webinar with Leadstar. Now, Leadstar Marketplace, I have Emma Tyler with us. She's the Customer Success Associate, and Megan Guido with us, who is the Senior Affiliate Relations Manager with Leadstar. Hopefully I said your last name correctly, because I probably should have checked before we hit go. So we're happy to have them with us. They're going to go through a presentation, go over everything they have to offer. And two things before we get started. Number one question I always get asked, yes, this is being recorded. If you got to take a call, go for it. We know time is money. We don't want anybody to miss out on any sales. This is being recorded, so we can kick you guys whatever you need. Make sure you get the link after the fact. Also, you'll notice that you can't just unmute yourself. We do that because I don't know about you, but unnecessary distractions like babies screaming, dogs barking, garage doors, wherever people are doing this webinar, it can be a distraction. So that does not mean that you can't answer questions. There's a chat box. You can ask any question you like. I personally will try to get through questions that I know. If I don't know them, then I will kick it back to the throughout the presentation to make sure that we get to it. So with that being said, I'm going to kick this over to Megan. She's going to start, and let's get this going for you guys. Megan, you all set?
Perfect. Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for joining today. I really appreciate it, especially with the beginning of AEP. I'm sure everyone is extremely busy, as I know Emma and myself are. So thanks again for coming. So just to give you some background about Leadstar, Leadstar is AmeriLife's exclusive lead generation platform. So what does that mean? Because you're a part of a Pinnacle services, you guys have access to use our platform when people outside of your organization would not. So it's a very exclusive resource, and Emma and I are AmeriLife employees, and we're here specifically just to help you guys find success on our platform and have the best, selling season that you possibly can. So that's kind of our goal. With Leadstar, we were created, specifically with the goal in mind to just make you guys successful and make you guys as profitable as possible. So with that being said, we offer, digital leads and live calls in a couple of different insurance verticals. Today, we're obviously going to be focusing most about Medicare. It's that time of the year. And when we first started the platform, it's been about 2 years now, a little over 2 years, I think, actually. When we first started, we were exclusive to one supplier. We were a very small team at the time. It kind of helped us with the management piece and customer service piece as we were just scaling and growing the platform. And this year, probably 5 months ago or so now, we transitioned away from that model into what's called a publisher management model. So we are not exclusive to one supplier anymore. And that brings a couple of key benefits that you guys will be able to take advantage of on the system today. Number one, we have multiple suppliers now. We're not going to be stuck with just, one batch of options from one supplier anymore. We have the complete, optionality to go wherever we see fit and provide multiple different types of leads that we weren't able to before because we were, hooked to one thing. So that's brought us additional lead optionality. We are able to manage our leads better as well. So what we have is performance management now. We can go in and look at publisher by publisher and make sure that everyone is performing to our standards and kind of, look at them against each other and make sure that they're doing what they need to do compared to what we know is possible from others that are already on the system and succeeding. And with that, we can also kind of tweak where the volume is coming from on a real-time basis. So that, we can just have the best quality and the best volume possible. And speaking of volume too, another thing that was great with this update was faster lead delivery. When we transitioned away from just one singular supplier, it gave us more optionality from the technology side too, for what we were able to do to send leads to your accounts. So I don't want to get too deep into the weeds on this one because it can get a little techie and boring, but it's called multi-tenancy. And this tool basically allows us to harness the demand of agents outside of our immediate selection and use that demand to get better buying power for our suppliers when we're bidding to get calls, and have more of those calls sent our way rather than another buyer. Basically just makes us look like we have this huge, great pool of agents waiting to take calls. And that allows us to get more volume sent our way so that you guys can, stay busy. So that's a very, high level overview of the updates that we've recently gone through to make AEP great for you guys this year. I'll jump into the actual calls we have on the system now and provide you guys with some data, performance data too. So I'm going to click this button and I'm hoping that can you guys see my screen?
You are good. Look at that. Perfect. Muy bien.
Okay. Perfect. You can see the leads on your schedule?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So these are the first two call types that we're going to be talking about today. All of these are real-time, on-demand. Emma's going to walk you through the platform and exactly how everything operates, so we'll get into a little bit more of that later. But these are the leads that you can get. You just log on to the platform, click a button, and you can start receiving them within like the same hour that you decide that you want the leads. It's very, very on-demand, completely on your own schedule. We don't have any minimums. It's really, like I said, just to make it as user-friendly to you guys as we possibly can to make you guys as successful as we possibly can. So inbound calls, let's talk about what exactly that means. We have them for Medicare, we have them in Spanish as well, and ACA and final expense if anyone's doing that right now, that's still there. But for Medicare specifically, we have two different types of inbound calls. The first one is going to be social media generated. So a consumer is going to go online, they're going to see an ad placed on Facebook, Google, Instagram, TikTok, anything of the above, any social media channel you can think of. We're probably utilizing it to drive traffic to you guys. They're going to see an ad, they're going to see a phone number on that ad, dial that number physically on their phone, and then they're going to get directly connected to you to discuss their planned options. So typically this type of call is really good for an agent who's maybe not so used to being on the phone. A lot of the times the ad pieces that we use can be, geared towards one specific benefit they might get in a plan in their area. So it's going to be a little bit easier of a kickstart to the beginning of your conversation when the lead kind of already has an idea of what they, maybe would want. It's an easy way to, dive right into your sales process. And then I'm going to jump down actually, and we're going to talk about this next lead, inbound lead type that we offer for Medicare exclusively. It's going to be a direct mail inbound. So this is going to be very, very similar to the one I just described, but if you can't tell by the name, it is generated by direct mail instead of social media channels. So still 100% consumer generated. They're still going to get connected directly to you, but instead of it being digital, it's going to be through physical direct mail pieces that are sent to their home or their mailing addresses. So what is that really, what's the difference there? Typically, when you're talking about the intent of a lead, the more steps that they have to take to actually get to you, the higher intent they're going to be. So when you think about, a social media generated lead, and I don't want to dog on it too bad, it's still a very, very great way to get traffic to you. But, they're probably shopping around. They're going to see a couple of different advertisements. They're going to be seeing a lot of stuff. We all have the world at our fingertips on social media. And it's very easy to get in contact. They're going to see an ad piece. They're going to dial the phone number and get connected to you immediately. For direct mail, they're going to have to walk out to their mailbox. They're going to have to drive to their PO box, whatever it is, pick up the card, read it. They're probably going to bring it inside. They're going to dwell on it for a little. They might show it to their family, and then they're going to call you directly after that. So all those physical steps in between seeing the ad and dialing, it's going to make it a higher intent lead. There's more steps, there's more drive to actually get into contact with you, probably more thought put into it. So that's why we have this sectioned out into a different lead type, even though it's still consumer generated. It's different enough for us to, go ahead and section it off completely separately. So those are our two consumer generated inbounds. I know we said we could take questions during the presentation, so I'm not sure if anyone has anything on that before I jump over to our live transfers.
No, so far the only question that we received was about in-person appointments.
Okay. Okay. I will touch on that a little bit later. So before that, we're going to talk a little bit about live transfers. This text is a little bit outdated, so you guys can just go ahead and ignore that. But our live transfer calls as it currently exists operate majorly off of inbound calls as well. So they're consumer generated, they're going online, seeing ad pieces, dialing in, but instead of getting directly connected to you, there's an intermediary transfer representative to qualify them before they speak to you. So they're going to make sure that they have met A and B. They're going to bring up the red, white, and blue card, and then they're going to ask them if they want to speak with a licensed representative to get assistance, and then they're going to go ahead and pass it over to you to get their assistance. These are our most popular and highest performing lead types that we have on the platform right now. I believe we launched this new platform on July 15th up until now, unless it's June, it's one of the two. From then until now, they're converting at an average, and this is everyone on the platform during SEP as well, 31% conversion rate with a $179 CPA. We're very, very proud of that, especially as an overall conversion number. That's really great. And I think it's partially attributed to not only the quality of the calls, but the fact that we have a full training guide specifically for live transfer calls by Bobby Bache. I'm sure most of you know who he is, Medicare Bob. He's really, really great when it comes to Medicare sales, and he's tailored a script for us to use on our platform from his experience he's had on Leadstar too. So, and that's included at the end of this document. I'll just kind of slowly flip through this for you guys, and we'll make sure that everyone gets this at the end of the presentation as well, but it kind of gives you what to expect. Another big thing on our platform is you shouldn't log on and just take 2 or 3 calls. You should get at least, 15 to 20 to get a good feel of it. We have some more details about that here. We have, just some really high level, how should you take a live call, all the way down to like do's and don'ts. How to handle objections, which is super important to understand when taking a live call. And then at the end here, we have the entire written sales process as well as video walkthrough sales process. Only would take you about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I know we're all super busy during AEP, but there's always room to learn more to get through this and really help, get into that 30% plus conversion rate that we're seeing on our platform today. But that's the only call types that we offer right now. We're currently working on getting the Medicare data back up and going, but as of right now, that's temporarily paused. But everyone will be getting a notice whenever it's ready to go as well. So, any questions on that?
Someone had a quick question, I guess, because you guys were talking about the direct mail. Do you guys have any examples of the direct mail pieces that you use?
I can pull those up and I'll send them to you after the call is over. Okay. I don't, or maybe I can get it right now. Oh. In the meantime, I can touch very briefly on our on in-person appointments. So this is kind of a sneak peek, so don't tell too many people, but we haven't announced it yet, but we are actually going to be offering in-person appointments on October 28th in select areas. We have a list of 11 states that we're going to be launching in. I don't know if you want to pull that list up, Emma, so we can see exactly where everyone will be eligible. But we do also have an opportunity. If you're not in one of those 11 states, all you need is 5 agents willing to take 1 to 2 in-person appointments per day, and we'll be able to open up in whatever county that you desire to work in. So 11 states, we're launching October 28th, and then any additional geo before we expand just naturally getting people onto the platform, you only need 5 participants for us to go ahead and get that launched. And then the wait time for us to get it up and running will only be a couple of days. So quick turnaround time. They're scoped in-person appointments for $90. And, we're getting one-to-one consent for them to speak with you, and we're waiting 48 hours after they sign the scope and opt in to the one-to-one TCPA information. to actually book that appointment for you. So it's going to be limited geo, limited availability in the beginning, and then we're going to, scale it as we after launch.
I have the list of states if you want me to read it off too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Illinois, North Carolina, South Carolina, Michigan, Indiana, New Mexico, Ohio, Missouri, and Florida are the states that are included starting on the 28th.
And like I said, go ahead.
No, that's awesome. So this is October 28th, and it's just in those states. Are you guys going to be expanding outside those states at some point?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing it naturally. It'll just expand as we get more and more people interested. But to launch in a specific area, all you need is a minimum of 5 interested agents, and we can launch, on the 28th with that area as well if you want to. All you need is 5 people that would be willing to participate with 1 to 2 appointments per day, and we can go ahead and open up in that area too.
That is beautiful. We did have a question about SOAs. So they were asking, what's the best way to handle SOA with the call leads?
So you get a verbal SOA over the phone, and in the script that's included at the end of this document, it does have the exact language, the exact verbiage that you need. I believe it's on page like 6 or 7, because you only need to do it right before you're about to talk about Medicare plans. So there's like maybe a little bit of rapport building in the beginning, and then you go into getting that verbal scope, and we have all the calls are recorded and stored on the platform. So the verbal scope is okay as long as you have that recording saved, which you will because we do it for you. But
awesome. The other question is with your direct mail, is that available in all states?
Yes. So we also have like typical direct mail too. It's on a completely separate platform. So that is available in all 50 states. And we also just went through a huge renovation with that system as well. So I can touch on that too. I'm not sure if you guys do like typical mailers where they mail, you get them sent back, and then you start the communication yourself. So we have that, but these are also all 50 states.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we do tend to, we haven't done as much, I think, as we used to in the past. But certainly, we do have a lot of people whose bread and butter is still utilizing those that style of lead. So, yeah, I mean, certainly, I think our team, a lot of people here are going to use for sure. Let's see. I think the cost, Alfred, the cost for direct mail, I think they have up on the screen there for you, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I pulled up the other platform now too. I'm not sure which one you're referencing, but our Leadstar Direct is, which is the typical how direct mail operates, $565 per 1,000. We just recently, and that's across Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, and Final Expense. So we have MedSup on there too. We just recently went through some renovations to the platform where we're segmenting our audience to only the top 50% of responders from our historic data. So we're expecting really, really great response rates from that. And then the inbound direct mail is $58.
I'm getting questions about, do you know the average conversion rate for direct mail leads, your direct mail?
So I will tell you, the direct mail leads were not purchased until today. We had our first couple of people start to take them. And I honestly think it's really just the price point scared people away. Our inbound calls and live transfers are both at the same price point, so it's easy for people to kind of toggle between those. So I don't have a conversion rate for you off the top of my head, but I do know, I think about when I last looked, 6 calls were taken. One of them was a close, and we had a bunch of callbacks too. So hopefully those agents start to, disposition more of those leads and continue to take them, so I can have a better understanding of exactly what that conversion rate looks like. But like I said, the live transfer 31% conversion, and then the inbound right now is sitting at around 20%.
Which is all fantastic. I mean, any conversion above 10% is great. So if you're in the 20s and 30s, that's really good. Someone had a question if you had anything, and if any of these are specifically targeted, or can you specifically target for dual eligibles?
A lot of these will just naturally be dual eligible, especially like when we're in SEP or OEP period. That's going to be where it's the highest. And when you think about it too, like someone who is like responding to an ad piece, a lot of the time, you know, they're looking for assistance or whatever, and they just naturally tend to be of that sort of income range that would make them dual eligible. So you will get a lot of that on here. It's not going to be 100% of the clients, especially that we're into AEP. But if you like selling D-SNPs, this is definitely a place you can go for sure during OEP and SEP too. If that's like the bulk of the business you like to do, it definitely tends to shift more towards that sort of clientele during those periods.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So that's all I got right now. They came quick and furious there.
Cool. Perfect. Well, that's kind of like everything in terms of the calls that we offer right now. Like I said before, we have Spanish bilingual leads as well, if anyone would be interested in that. But this is all the pricing, all the details, and I'll get this sent out to everyone after it's over. So I think we can send it over to Emma now to walk through the actual platform itself, how to set up a campaign, how to manage our in-platform CRM, how to access your recordings, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this system, right? Is, I mean, everything's self-serve, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said earlier, you can, if you decided that you wanted to start getting leads today, you could get them today. It's extremely fast. And this is all very, very easy setup process as well. We just still like to walk through it with people.
Awesome. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, you are good.
Okay, I think I actually accidentally shared it right away, but it all works out. That's okay. So I'll just go through a super quick overview of the platform. It's pretty user friendly, but this should help. So what I'm showing you right now is what your page will look like after you log in. So on the left side here, there's some options for you to toggle between. And currently we're on the campaigns page. Let me move this out of the way. So if you go right up here to the corner, this purple button, new, and click on that, that's how you'll start your first campaign. You can choose between the real-time leads if you're looking for final expense, or the live calls, which is mostly what we went over today for Medicare. And then you'll select Medicare. You can pick here's where you'll pick your lead vertical. So again, we have the direct mail inbounds, the live transfers, the regular inbounds, and then the Spanish as well. So I'll just pick live transfers for this example. This is the geography tab where you can add as many states or as few states as you'd like. So if you wanted to add all the states you are licensed in, you can go for it. We usually recommend like 5 to 10. You don't need to add like all 50 if you're licensed in all of them, but you can select as few or as many as you'd like here. And then next, this is where you'll add your phone number where the calls will come into. We recommend that you use a cell phone number. All the calls will be recorded on our platform, and the client will not have access to your phone number. It just usually works the best connection-wise unless you have like an office number. It just won't work if you have a pre-recorded message or if you're using a soft phone. So for that reason, the cell phone is typically the best option here. And then next, this is the review and launch page. So like I said, super easy to use. If you want to have multiple campaigns, like say with different states or whatever, you can rename them here to organize them. And then you can go back through and edit here if you want to add or take away a state from your geography, change any of that. And then you'll just go to launch campaign and you'll be all set there. And then when I go back to the campaigns tab, here's where you'll be able to see all of the campaigns you have and where you can toggle them on and off. So it's super simple. You'll just press this button here and it'll turn to active with that green button. This box at the bottom will pop up in purple. And when you get a call, it'll come in with the phone number and everything there. box is in the way again. And then you can pause the campaign whenever you're ready. If you need to take like a lunch break or you have a call unrelated to Leadstar won't know, so we do ask that you pause your campaign then. And then if you go here to the View Details tab as well, you can see the number that the calls will be coming from. So you can go into your phone and add that as a Leadstar context. You'll know when the Leadstar call is coming in. And that's where you can see all of the details there. And then I think that's good for that page. I'll show you the My Leads page as well. This is our built-in CRM that you can use. So all of your leads will auto-populate here after the calls. And then you can click on each one for more details. So you can go to this action button and change the status. This is where you can update the disposition later on. You can also add notes here while you're on the phone. It's just a super easy way to add something while you're on the call. And then if you scroll down here, this is where you'll access all of the recordings from the calls. So you can play them back and listen to them as many times as you want. You can also download the calls if you need to from there. And then you can also edit the leads information here with this pencil button if anything is incorrect or needs to be updated. That's how you would go about it. And then you can always export all of your leads to download them or sort them here. So that's pretty much it for that page, I think. Did anyone have any questions on the campaigns of the My Leads page?
No, you must be doing a great job.
Awesome. You can also email here if you need support, if something's going on with the platform, or if you have a call that wasn't auto-refunded that you believe should be refunded for whatever reason, you can always email us from here as well. I think that's all from me. Megan, is there anything you wanted to add?
No, I think we're good. Just, you can turn your campaign on and off as many times a day as you want within reason, I always say. If you're doing it every couple of minutes, you're probably not going to get a good volume. But if you're, just needing to go to the restroom or taking a lunch break or personal phone call or whatever it is, you can do that as many times a day as you want. Won't really affect your volume at all. We are able to integrate with external CRMs through Zapier as well. So that's an option if you have a CRM that you're already using for other lead sources, we can funnel into that too. But that's it. Platform is super easy to use. We'll send out the link to sign in and create your account after this is over with the handbook I shared earlier. And then we can also meet, on an individual basis if you want to, talk about like individual strategy plans and more personalized approach and what maybe would work best for you. We can do that as well.
That's awesome. So did have a couple questions. Can you purchase counties or do you have to purchase the entire state?
So for calls, you do have to do the whole state. It just isn't accurate enough for us to do on a county-wide basis for calls, and the volume just wouldn't be that great. So we leave it at the whole state just for like a better user experience. I know like most people just use Sunfire to, plan search in whatever area they come in, and you will receive the zip code of your lead where they reside immediately when the call comes in, so you can plug it in and plug and play from there. I haven't heard too many people complain that you have to take the whole state because of stuff like Sunfire.
And then how are you generating some of these leads? I don't know if, I know you talked about it a little bit with some of the other ones. I think he was asking, is it all through digital marketing?
Yeah, so our live transfers and social media inbound calls are through digital marketing. And then the only one that's not is going to be the direct mail inbounds. Those will be from physical direct mail pieces sent to their home or mailing address. So mostly will be social media, and then we have the one lead type sectioned off from everything else that's not.
Awesome. Ask now or forever hold your peace, peoples. see anything else right now. What the direct mail lead is responding to pieces that they're sending out, Vito. So these are mail pieces that they're sending out. She's going to send me an example so that we can show you guys what that looks like, so we can make sure people see that. Are the in-person Medicare leads for the whole state? I guess that would be more county-based, right?
Yeah, the in-person ones, yeah. The ones we haven't launched yet, that will be specific to the counties. So we're launching in those 11 states over the whole state. And then if you want to launch a county that is not included in those 11 states, you just need 5 people to be able to do that.
Perfect. I think that's pretty much it. Cool, guys. Well, listen, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day. Hopefully things didn't get too crazy for you guys down in Florida. I know it's been a struggle for a lot of people to get through a lot of that stuff. So, yeah, obviously our thoughts and prayers are with everybody down there. So, doesn't look like you're under any water, so we're good, right? And if you didn't have a Tesla, it didn't blow up your house. So, you know.
No Tesla, no swimming here. We're all good.
No worries.
Awesome. Well, look, everybody on the call, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. Everybody have a fantastic, what's it now? Thirsty Thursday, as I like to call it. And, you know, we'll be doing this again, hopefully sometime soon. We'll get you guys back on. Thank you, Megan and Emma.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
for having us.
Awesome. Have a great night, guys. Thank you.